So the next thing that we're going to look at is the types of guidance and types of feedback in sport. Starting off with types of guidance. Now guidance can be given at the start and during an activity. So at the beginning and during it, not at the end. Okay? When teaching or coaching a new skill or movement, the teacher or coach needs to select the best method of guidance. Some of these do cross over and you can use a mix of them. But we'll look at the four and what we've got here, and obviously you can see and link them as you like. Could be another version for a 6 mark because there's quite a lot of things you can talk about. So first type of guidance, verbal. It's using your voice, okay? Telling a pupil to watch the ball when receiving a pass in rugby, for example. What are the advantages of verbal then? Well, it can be given immediately and quickly, definitely can. It's good for fine-tuning a skill or a movement because it can tell you and you can go and practice that little bit. And it can be motivating and can develop a better understanding of a skill. You should be given praise as well with that. The disadvantage of it though is it cannot easily create a mental picture of movement. I was studying here telling you to improve this serve you need to pull your arm back, not really showing you what I mean, okay? Likewise, it might be wrong information or cause confusion. If I tell you something it shouldn't actually be done like that, or I'm explaining it wrong, it's going to cause a bit of confusion. Next one then, visual. Visual guidance. Now I like linking visual and verbal together, if I'm honest with you. But visual guidance, a coach demonstrating the stroke technique in swimming. So instead of me saying to do front crawl, you need to move your left arm and right arm, which will be verbal guidance. Visual, I'll actually be showing you left arm into right arm, left arm, pulling back and things like that. Okay, I can demonstrate that to you. Advantages of this then? Well, it's good for beginners as they can actually visualise the correct movement. It's easier to remember to form a technical model in your head and to copy it, and it's quick and effective. Me showing someone, if you never knew what front crawl was, me showing you that sort of motion to go into the pool, you'd be able to copy that and you'd be able to move a bit with it. Disadvantages. If the demonstration is incorrect, then the wrong movement or skill is rehearsed. Basic as that. If I show you it wrong, you're going to copy it wrong. Okay? It's difficult to gain a feel or sense of the movement because, yeah, right, you've watched it, but what does it actually feel like? If I showed you a somersault, you wouldn't just be able to go and do that somersault. You've not got a feel for it. And it may be too complicated to understand. You might be looking at it going, how is he doing that? Okay? So, a few positive and negatives there. Mechanical guidance then. This one is similar, it's similar to manual, that we'll cover in a second, but a mechanical support rather than a human is used. So for example, mechanical guidance is a good one. Trampoline is using a harness for support. You've seen them connected to the springs. Got a picture of them down here as well, okay? It's basically, they're connected to something. Just be careful on the keybook, it looks like the picture for mechanical is under manual and it's the other way around. So with your pictures on page 18, swap them pictures around, okay? And they've got the harness attached to them. Could be a karate belt, you're holding onto that and they'll go over using the karate belt. Advantages of it? Well, it can reduce fear in dangerous situations. It can be much safer for the performer and raise the confidence. Because if you're into a harness, if someone said to me do a somersault, I won't do it. I feel a bit nervous with that. Put me in a harness with the springs attached to it, the ropes. You feel a lot more confident, you're not going to go anywhere, you can just spin around in the air. Negatives though, it could give an unrealistic feel for movement. If I did a somersault in a harness and I went dead slow, nothing's going to happen to me. If I came out of the harness and did the same, I could break my neck because I get the speed wrong. Okay? Performing becomes over-reliant on the support. You don't want to get rid of that support anymore. So you've learned a skill but you can't do it without the support. It can be dangerous if the mechanical sport has a problem with it. The bungee rope snap or anything like that, we've got a bit of an issue. Manual guidance then. This is the one that's done with a human being. A coach supporting a gymnast on the beam, for example. So you can see the picture up there. It can reduce fear in dangerous situations. If I'm there holding you in a handstand or something like that, you've not got fear of falling over. Can be much safer for the performer and raise the confidence. Can give a feeling of the movement as opposed to if you're mechanically clipped in. Disadvantages though, again, it can give an unrealistic feeling. You used to do a handstand and I catch your legs. It's not going to happen. If I'm not there to catch your legs, you're probably just going to go over. So you get a bit of an unrealistic feel. Become over-reliant on the support again, and can be dangerous if the guidance is weak. If you're going to do a handstand and I can't hold you and you fall over, it's going to hurt you anyway. Okay? So they're your negatives. The next ones then, the guidance is done at the start and during. So it's to guide you through. Feedback, done at the end. You get feedback at the end of an exam paper, end of a mock. This is the same. Now your types of feedback are internal and intrinsic feedback. This is continuous feedback that comes from within you, within the performer. For example, how it feels, what you feel you need to do better. So, if I'm lifting an Olympic weightlifting, I can straight away think, right, I need to get my chest over that bar more, I need to more power through my hips when I'm driving through. It comes from inside you, okay? Might do a passing football and think, slice that. You know that yourself. External then and extrinsic feedback, it's the same, it's just a different word for it, like internal and intrinsic. It's basically feedback comes from external sources such as sound or vision. Maybe an iPad. Show my iPad, listen, this is what you need to do. It could be a coach, okay? Showing you, giving you some sort of example of what you've done wrong. It's coming from not you, it's coming from outside, so something different. Knowledge of performance. This is information about how well the movement or tactic is being performed rather than the result. This can be quite motivating to an athlete. So you might not go up to a football player, they took a free kick and missed it, but you might be saying to them, listen, that was good, your run up was good, you got to the ball, you struck the ball really well. You're giving them that feedback. The outcome of missing the goal, not the best, but what they actually did was good towards it. Knowledge of results then. This is a type of terminal feedback given at the end. It gives the performer feedback on the end result, and this can be quite motivating. So it could be a gymnastic routine and they see the scores that they get and you give feedback based on them scores. This is what you got, this is how you need to improve it, we need to get them scores up to this. Okay? Knowledge of results. Positive feedback reinforces skill learning and gives information about successful outcomes. Being dead positive with someone. If you're going up to someone saying, oh, well done, you did this, you did that, this worked well for you. It's similar to knowledge of performance, but actually telling them how well they've done with it. Okay? It really, really boosts confidence and it gives information about what's gone well. Negative feedback. Information about unsuccessful outcome, which can be used to develop more successfully. It might not be you saying to someone, oh, that's rubbish, that is, you've not done well. It might actually be saying, well, when you struck the ball and missed the goal, you need to do this, you need to do that. That could be classed as negative feedback, but some negative feedback is done wrong, where you're shouting at a player and saying, you're rubbish, you need to improve this, it's not good this, and it motivates that player to push through. Okay?